Bart done got himself stuck down a well. After spending most of the last month with repetitive motion injuries in both hands, able to do nothing but sit and watch YouTube videos all day, I feel like I can relate. Hi, I'm Torin, and welcome back to another episode of Torin Loves the Simpsons, finally. My hands are still recovering, but part of the recovery process is easing back into regular activity, so here we are. Today we're looking at Season 3, Episode 13, Radio Bart, an episode where Homer gives Bart a microphone that can broadcast pirate radio signals as a birthday present, which Bart uses to prank the town into thinking there's a kid trapped at the bottom of a well, which leads to him actually getting trapped in the well trying to recover his radio, until Sting digs him free. Let's dive on in. We'll be starting with the humor today, and this episode starts things off with a solid parody of birthday parties at places like Chuck E. Cheese. I never went to an actual Chuck E. Cheese, but I did attend birthday parties at a couple similar places as a kid, and I can attest to that while there's obviously plenty of exaggeration in here, such as the charming Signor Beaverati bit, they really nailed the overall vibe of those places. They sure were a hell of a lot of fun for a 9-year-old. I really enjoy Homer lamenting that there's only one can of beer left and it's Bart's. I think that joke really demonstrates the trust the show placed in the audience to connect the dots in order to get some of its jokes and see the various humorous angles of a particular moment. Following the beginning of Bart's big prank, this episode hits us with another parody, this time of celebrity charity singles and the entire self-righteous atmosphere about them. Kent Brockman nodding with a look of astonished admiration on his face as Krusty just describes mundane details about the process of scheduling a recording session with Sting speaks volumes. I love Bart's particular list of life experiences that he's upset at the prospect of missing out on. The prospect of someday using a fake ID is a very Bart thing to be excited about. I think probably the most memorable joke in this episode for me is the canary dying of natural causes. Good joke, no notes. Overall, though, this episode doesn't have a whole lot of terribly memorable stuff. It's not bad or boring by any means. In fact, I think it's quite enjoyable to watch in the moment as the episode is full of small, funny moments. In this episode's case, the humor strikes me as here to support the plot rather than the other way around, and I think it achieves this goal well. I'm giving the humor an A-. As for the plot, this episode is a great example of a plot point from the beginning of the episode coming back up later to make the plot feel cohesive. Bart's deluge of boring birthday presents isn't only important in the moment, it also introduces the label maker that ends up being instrumental to Bart's downfall. Or his fall down, however you want to term it. And not only that, but I love the character interaction between Bart and Lisa here, when Lisa guesses, accurately, that Bart labeled his name on the radio he dropped down the well. Unsurprisingly, Lisa knows Bart that well that she just knew. She just knew. Highly cromulent use of Lisa here. I think it was definitely the right call to portray this plot with as much levity as they did. The episode hints at some plot points with a bit more gravity, like Lisa getting upset about the other kids joking about Bart dying in the well, or Bart starting to believe he would indeed die down there. But they follow those moments up with jokes to eliminate the tension, like the kids just resuming their joking as soon as Lisa's out of sight, and Bart's list of life experiences he'll miss out on. A good balance between humor and plot can certainly be achieved in different ways, but in this case, I think keeping things light and fun was the right call. I also, as usual, appreciate the social commentary in Krusty's description of the breakdown of proceeds received for the charity single. He's definitely saying the quiet part out loud here, which is my whole point, that he's pointing out how easy it is to say in your marketing that this money is going to charity, and then waste a ton of it on compensation for the charity administrators and on luxuries that are just barely tangentially related enough to operations that the charity can legally use the funds that way. Charitable donation is definitely a good thing to do, especially right now while a lot of people are really going through it. Most of the time, you're probably going to do more good by giving cash directly to people begging on the side of freeway exits than by donating to a charitable organization. When it comes to organizations, investigate before you donate and think local. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this episode's incredible B-plot. It's quite possibly one of the greatest B-plots in the entire series, even if it's only 2 scenes long. I am, of course, referring to the Lincoln Squirrel. Rest in peace, Lincoln Squirrel. You were with us not for a long time, nor for a good time, but for a time nonetheless. In the end, I think this plot is great. Solid A. And now for the final rating. We have an A- for humor and an A for plot, and I'm going with an A overall. This is a great Bart character study, a look into his mischievous side that forces him to face the prospect of real, serious consequences for his actions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, I ask that you please hit the like button here on the YouTube. And if you want to see more episode reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure that bell is set to give you all the notifications. Up next, our focus shifts from Bart to Lisa and Homer in Lisa the Greek, so I will see you in that video.